Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Maor and I'm a spiritual mentor. Today's topic is about the differences between the Kundalini energy and the Pranic energy. I'm going to give you two different exercises that will make the process of making the distinction between the different energies unparalleled to anything else, and you will definitely understand. Because energy is something that is so abstract, we use it in every second sentence. So I really want to make you understand the differences so you can use it to step up to your next level. So stay tuned. Energy at different levels can be expressed and known by different names. At the highest level, it is called spiritual energy. At the emotional level, it can be called love. At the physical level, it can actually be expressed as sex or other things that we do, like Kundalini awakening experiences. Let us begin with Kundalini energy. Now imagine what type of energy creates life when a man and a woman come together to create a baby. In our physical level, we understand that the sperm has a lot of energy, has a lot of potential in it. That's why, by the way, when a man has an orgasm, he's completely tired, exhausted. Why? Because in every orgasm we have 250 million sperms that are coming out. 250 million, that's enough to repopulate almost the entire United States or almost entire of Europe. That's how much energy. Now, when that amount of energy is compressed into one place, then the orgasm can be in some way very, very small in comparison to its potential. Okay, and I'm using Kundalini energy and sexual energy because they come from the same area. Because when I teach Tantra, what we do is we actually know how to use that energy and disperse it all over the body at one time. Okay, so in order for you to understand Kundalini energy and the differences, I want you to do something that we do in Tantric practices as well. I want you to just squeeze your sphincter. Okay. Squeeze your sphincter as much as you can. If you don't know what your sphincter, or if you don't feel the muscles that you have down there, I want you to try to squeeze together your ass and your lower abs together and try to feel all the different muscles that are coming in between. Now, I want you to hold, okay? Squeeze and hold as you're breathing in, as you're breathing out. I'm doing the same with you, so I kind of feel the tension as well. I want you to hold it for at least 20 seconds while you're doing that. Now, whilst you're holding it enough time, you'll start feeling uncomfortable, especially if you're not used to it. And you'll start noticing that there's energy that is climbing up your spine, okay? I can already feel the tension now. Feel it as it coming up your spine. Now, in sexual relations, if you want to learn Tantra, what we actually do is we use that energy to, again, disperse from the extended or from the overloaded sexual energy that is just where for men the penis is, for women, you know, your thing. And what we do is we actually change it to move throughout the body. Okay. Now that is the same thing as Kundalini energy. Now I had two Kundalini awakenings in my life, and I can tell you, if you've ever heard about it, if not, Google it. It's quite interesting. It's what happens when a vibration of a person suddenly skips levels. It's sort of like, you know, in school when we had grade A, grade B, or C and stuff like that. We skipped from A to C. And suddenly everybody around us were like a little bit different, they were a little bit older and stuff like that, if it ever happened. So the same thing happens when the vibration of a person skips. Now it could be to anyone, it can happen for many, many different reasons, emotional reasons, traumas, energetic traumas, a deep meditation that reveals some information to you. And what happened is that I started feeling this vibration coming up my spine and it didn't stop. It went on for hours. In the beginning, very, very intense. I didn't sleep that night at all. And over the next couple of days, it was a little bit slower and a little bit less intense until it completely disappeared. And then I read about it and I researched about it and I understood that is Kundalini. So when you do this exercise, you're actually waking up your Kundalini energy. And the Kundalini energy is also known as the snake. And the double, it looks like a DNA that is moving between every chakra. Now, the left side is masculine, the right side is feminine. For men and women, it's reverse. And then the snake moves through the chakras themselves, balancing them out. So you actually feel that it's not only climbing up, but it's sort of like has this like wave formation. That's the exercise from Kundalini. Now, the difference between Kundalini and Prana is that Prana is the universal energy that actually allows everything to live, that connects life itself. Have you ever wondered how nature can balance itself alone? How water knows what to do? how oxygen knows how to do. Just take this very, very simple example. Mice in nature know they create 10 little babies and only 2 survive. So daddy mouse and mommy mouse actually balance themselves out in some way. You know, a predator will eat one will die of a disease. Mice in a city will not know how to balance themselves, and they just repopulate the entire city with mice. Same thing with rabbits. So nature knows how to balance itself. So there's a wisdom behind that. There's an intelligent design of some sort. That works through the universal energy as well. Now, some people are more connected than others. In other words, some people are healers, some people are channelers, some people spend more time in nature or meditative, or just they're in their zone. You know what I mean? They're in their zone. They're very connected. Eventually, they actually develop, like I developed, some sort of advanced intuition. Sometimes the words just come into my mind, and sometimes I just see something just before it happens. And it's quite amazing when it happens. So the pranic energy is the universal energy. In order for you to experience it, what I want you to do is I want you to close your eyes and just relax. You know, if you want, you can take a deep breath and let everything go out as much as you can, And then again, take a big breath and express everything out, all the emotions that don't need to be there at that moment. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect, there's no success, there's no failure, but with your eyes closed, I want you to find a place in your body that is the source of all energy in the world, okay? It is in your body. Find that source. It can be in your belly, it can be in your chest, it's there somewhere. It's like a reversed black hole. It fills you up with light. And I want you to try to breathe from that source inwards. In other words, you have that source in your body. Now breathe inwards and you start visualizing that this energy that comes from inside, it surrounds everything. It is the universal energy. Now when you're going to breathe it and visualize it, you're going to start noticing that you're feeling like your pores are actually opening up, and you're like swimming in a sea of bright white energy. Right now I'm telling you that because right now you are focused on that. And when you're focused on something, you put your intention on visualizing something, you feel it much more. That is the universal energy, and that is the difference. Now you can feel it from all around you. You can play around with it. You can have it make you tinklish sensations in your fingers if you focus on that. When you breathe into that, if you were hungry before, you will notice that you're not hungry anymore because it's nourishing you. It nourishes through the pineal gland, and that activates the physical body. In other words, regular food has to be processed in some way, and that takes energy from the body. And a spiritual energetic nourishment is transmuted by the pineal gland. In other words, it doesn't add any toxins, it doesn't take any waste or create any waste. That's why it happens much faster. On a physical level as well. It requires some practice to get there, but eventually you can get there as well. Anyway, that is the difference, the profound difference between Kundalini energy, which actually you can use to create life itself. And a lot of people actually force the Kundalini energy and don't allow it to flow by itself, because in the physical body that is slowly transforming into the light body, and you know what I'm talking about, okay? That actually, the process needs to take time. So if you are forcing the Kundalini energy, you're going to have Kundalini experiences and Kundalini awakenings sometimes prior to the time that was designed for you. So I know a lot of teachers try to force it by a specific exercise. What I wanted to teach you is to not force it, let it happen. You can do some breathing techniques. You can use squeezing the sphincter is excellent while you're doing a breathing technique. Don't go over 1 minute in the beginning unless you feel comfortable, but you will start feeling that flow of energy going up. Start exercising these two techniques and then you'll notice the differences, and it will be quite easy to understand that the pranic energy is with you all the time. And the Kundalini energy, you can wake it up in your sexual activity. You can actually watch some of my other videos about Tantra tips for beginners. I'm going to do one just after this one that is going to be a complete set of everything you need on the spiritual level and on the practical physical level. So my friends, thank you very much for staying all the way to the end. I love you guys. Thank you for following me. Namaste, and I will see you in my next video.